go. Can you see mine now?
Yes, splendid. One of the things I like about Zoom is that it's possible to just share a specific application from the looks of things.
Yes, yes.
That seems to be that's useful.
Yeah, it is. You've got to be careful what you've got on in the background if you're not.
Yes. Oh, here's my bank number. Just happens to be open.
Your what?
In a live video chat.
I think. Remember, I tried. I used it extensively, but it didn't work with you and Jane. Yes. I've got that video conferencing platform.
What was that?
It's called Krov. It's a guy in the Netherlands who's developed this video conferencing platform. And what he's starting is, well, he's done one or two ad hoc things, but he's starting from next week, the 1st of May, to get together about 6 people. He's going to start in his own community. He's quite active in his local community and social and local politics type of thing. And he's going to get 6 people sharing a video conference. And he's going to sort of moderate it with, I don't know, a subject to debate. But then he's going to beam that live to Facebook. And I think that's got a lot of potential.
Yes.
In terms.
Is it possible that we could stream from Zoom into Facebook?
I don't know. I'm not sure, actually.
Options.
Maybe we can Google that.
Yes.
Can I take you through something? And you're going to
absolutely. Take me through.
You're going to say to me, I'm hoping that why didn't you use this? Why didn't you use that? Why didn't you use that? So let me take you through in steps. I won't, it won't be hours, but I want to just show you from the beginning.
Yes, we need to save some for tomorrow.
What we've got in BNI. BNI is a business networking organization, okay, that brings together groups of people, generally in small businesses, and groups them into what we call chapters, groups of people, where you meet on a regular basis, and we teach you how to business network, basically by focusing you on telling people what you do and getting them to sell your services. It's not, I mean, people do buy from each other, but it's not a the key is more about getting other people to sell you. So we bring people together, you teach people about your business, and then they go and find you business opportunities. So I'm just going to start a new sphere and show you from the beginning what I've been doing. Because I think, I mean, I use Thortspace extensively for my own thinking and problem solving and all sorts of things. But what I've been battling with is to find a sort of application where I can get other people interested in the program. So what I started with is, and you won't see this, but I'm going to go into a spreadsheet. If you go into any BNI group, and they're all over the place, people are listed in terms of their businesses, etc., etc. So what I did is I started looking at some local chapters of my own here. And if I start to publish this, I don't want to publish confidential details. So I'm working on what we call business classifications. So I've gone into a spreadsheet that I just accessed from a chapter website and copied a set of things from it. Oh, now, why did that do that? Why did that do that? Just for a minute. Let me just.
This is something that normally works, huh?
Hey?
This is something that normally works. You're going to
I think I forgot to paste.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Okay. So there's a listing from my chapter.
Yes.
Or from a chapter of a whole lot of business services just dumped in.
Yes.
Now, in doing this, and the breakthrough was, in fact, the journeys. I hadn't used journeys very much, but I've discovered some quite nifty ways of operating. So if I go into presentation mode, I can rotate the sphere quickly to its other side, go back into here and paste the same set of thoughts.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Now I can start to look at groupings of people, and let me just take 3 or 4 just to show you the start, and now I'll go to a presentation and show you where I've taken it. So if I took that person and that person, and well, it doesn't matter for your purpose, I'll just take anyone's. We have then what we call groupings of contact spheres. These are groupings of businesses that are serving like customers and in a non-competing mode. Okay, and one of the keys of getting a successful chapter operating is you need a network of people, and you need what we call a balance of contact spheres. Now so that's what I've been doing, dragging from wherever and dumping and organizing. So let me now take you into another sphere and start to show you some of the output that I'm getting. So for instance, I did an analysis of one of our chapters that is not doing very, very well. And I started to color spheres with categories. And in fact, we're going to present to this chapter in the next 2 weeks. Here's a key to why they are not operating well. They've only got about 16 people in the chapter, which is not enough. And grouped into their like contact spheres, they've got a total imbalance. So what happens in this chapter is this grouping of people are probably doing reasonably well. But these people are in and out because they, now you can go and drag from another document a whole heap of professions that are related to the health and wellness contact sphere. And if we looked at the health and wellness context sphere here, we've only got 2 people. So what you got to do is start strategizing of who you know and how you can start to invite these people. So that was the start of my journey. Okay. But then I discovered this. Let me just get you out of the way. That if I go to and start creating journeys, it doesn't matter wherever I am in whatever sphere. When I start a journey, it opens that sphere, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Which is, and I've opened the wrong sphere.
Press escape.
Yeah. I've opened the wrong one. Let me open another one. So I started to explore.
Chapter growth menu. Is that?
No, that's another one. That's another idea I've got. The balance chapter concept. Oh no, that can't be.
You don't have to play the journey to go to the viewpoint. You can just click on the viewpoint.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, so I think I've produced a fantastic, I messed this one up. And in fact, I know why this one is. If I go back here, I started creating different arrangements. That's what I've messed up there. But let me then show you another sphere where it's really starting to work for me. How do I find a sphere? I go in here, don't I? Working copy. Don't I go there to find? Yeah, there you are. So, are you still with me?
Yeah, with you.
So I started here. That was my initial dump. Then if I go here and quickly rotate, I started to then create my contact spheres. But then, and I'm using this now daily, let me just close that. I now use this to, so what happens now is that you've got a group of people here who are in a like contact sphere and should be building relationships, a graphic designer, a business strategist, a marketing guy, blah, 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 blah. And I use this now to bring in an individual person where I've got links to their business. Now, obviously, when I show you this through Zoom, if it'll go to a different window, so you won't see that. And then I'm building strategic actions to focus on business opportunities. And it's just working like a charm for me. So I'm doing it now myself, and this has happened over the last 2 weeks, and I'm able to sit with people and get my links to various other, and just have the most incredible strategic discussion and action planning document with them. Now, the beauty of it is, and I've messed up in terms of or maybe this is it. Maybe this is it. Let's do here. Yeah, you can see here. So I've got a whole set of web resources that I can go into to talk to them. So I can go into the chapter website. I can go into I can then go and talk to them about the general chapter as a whole. Then I can talk to them about how we can group into contact spheres. And then I can talk to them about a concept we have in B&I of focusing on key situations where different businesses would get together and focus. So here's a health and wellness grouping of, well, the other thing that this is pointing out is that the business classifications are all wrong. And you've got a guy that says animal services. Actually, what he's into is pest control for health reasons. So he
Yes.
No, it's quite interesting, but he's called himself Animal Services, which is nothing. But what will happen with a group like this is they will focus on a business market of people who want to get healthy.
Yes.
And they'll find business opportunities to take a package of products to, so it might be somebody recovering from an operation who wants to build up their energy levels with health foods, who wants to have some chiropractic treatment, who wants to start going to a gymnasium, etc., etc. And it's just proving to be a fantastic visual tool. Now, question, this is working off one sphere.
Yes.
Which is all about one chapter.
Yes.
But what we've got within BNI is the ability, and there's 8,000 odd chapters and 250,000 people out there all over the world, and with facilities like this, I do a lot of my business now internationally because I draw sketches for people. Could I, from this sphere, link to another sphere, which was another group in America?
Yes.
And do a journey that crossed spheres?
Yes. Yes. Journeys do cross spheres. You can have lots of spheres all in the same journey. Yes.
Well, then I think I've got a tool here that, because the problem with this sort of business
I can show you a journey that crosses a sphere because
all right, but let me ask you a couple of technical questions now, because say I was strategizing with somebody in America, oh, anywhere, doesn't matter whether, it could be next door. I could share a journey with them by, let's just try this one. If I go in here to publish that, yes, I've got to publish the sphere, correct?
Yes, you need to publish all the spheres. This is actually offering to do it for you, I think. Some of the viewpoints of this journey are on private spheres, which will prevent them from showing. Do you want them to set them as public?
Okay.
So if you say yes, it will actually set all the spheres in the journey to public. But
okay, so that's where I've got to be careful.
Do that if you're sure that you want that information to be public.
Yeah. So what I've got
to you maybe go play the journey first and look at the spheres that are included before doing that, perhaps.
And tell me, if I created in this sphere, let's just go back to the think. If I created another arrangement and call it strategy 1, for instance, strat 1. And in strat 1, what is the easiest way of deleting stuff? It's to use the delete button either on a sphere, on a group, or a thought.
I don't see a better way of doing it.
Okay, so if I deleted those,
I'm not sure.
If I deleted those, and I created another journey,
yes,
when I publish that, and obviously publish the sphere, does the recipient have access to both of my arrangements?
Yeah, when you publish the sphere, you publish all the arrangements on the sphere. Currently,
okay,
that is the situation. You can't publish a sphere without publishing all the arrangements.
Okay.
We probably need to get more fine-grained permissions, but as things stand, when you make a sphere,
So
make all the arrangements public. However,
I'm not hearing you very well.
sorry. Yeah, when you make a sphere public, you essentially make all the arrangements public, but they don't show up in the web version yet, because the web version only shows the arrangements that you last visited. So if you look at the sphere on the web version, it will show the arrangement that you last visited when you visited that sphere last time that sphere got saved. A public sphere.
So if I share,
it will be to the web version soon. However, the app version has the ability to view public spheres. And so if you view a public sphere inside the app, then the person can look at all the arrangements and they can choose the arrangement they want to see themselves. And then now there's a third thing to know about this, which is quite useful, and that is viewpoints in journeys include the specification of the arrangement. So if you publish a journey, then it will switch the sphere to the arrangement that you're looking at when you save the viewpoint. Does that make sense? So any given viewpoint in an array in a journey, when you publish a journey, the viewpoint includes the arrangement.
Sorry, your sound is disappearing totally.
Oh dear. Perhaps I'll speak a bit more slowly. Does that help? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's not as clear as when we started. I don't know what. So basically, my excitement is I think I have produced an application in the BNI area to start with, which I can use as an education tool to educate people everywhere about how to make professions, contact spheres, and what we call power teams work. And if I can have the ability to take people through a presentation, but then publish the journey for them, so they've got a way to go to watch what I've just taught them. And then I've got a tool called Screencastify, which enables me to, just like you can see you now as a postage stamp on the screen, where you can talk people through a web page or whatever, and they can see you talking to your screen. So I want to start doing well, not all, but a lot of my presentations from Thoughtspace, and then publish them through my Wakelet, publish them as journeys. So I can take you through a journey of how you build a chapter, how you balance your contact spheres, how you work together to develop your relationship with your business partners, and how you focus on what we call these key situations to bring power teams together. So to me, this is a complete breakthrough, in that I've got a huge market out there of people who listen to me as far as educating them in, and I've got a tool that is interesting, visual and whatever, and an ability to publish those as YouTube videos or whatever. So I'm going to start telling my BNI stories, telling my BNI education through Thoughtspace.
Fantastic.
And I think for me personally, that's a real breakthrough, because I've spent the last year or whenever whenever we started talking, whenever that first time was with Phil, I don't know. You know, Thoughtspace to me has been a great individual thinking tool. I mean, what I do now, I'm very tech. I love technology. So and it was Jane who started me on this. I have my Thoughtspace on my phone, and I just dictate thoughts into it, and then so if you look here, for instance, you're still seeing my screen.
Yes, yeah.
Here's a thought space that is just developing, by and large, from my mobile app on my phone. So I put together now my weekly presentation. We all make what we call elevator speeches. And I put these together by just dictating in. So I normally start with a quotation. So this week's quotation is something, and then I just walk people through. I got all sorts of ideas on here, but the one I want to start pursuing now, and that's why I wanted to get hold of you, is using Thoughtspace as a teaching and education tool in the BNI context, and getting it out there publicly on whatever YouTube, whatever channels, which I think
is it okay with you if I've recorded this Zoom session? Is it okay?
I can't hear you.
Is it okay if I put this Zoom session up on the Facebook group?
Let me just take those off. Speak again.
Is it okay with you if I put this Zoom session up on the Facebook group?
No, there's something wrong with there's something wrong with your speaker. Is it, what did you say?
Is it okay if I put this Zoom session up on the Facebook group?
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Okay,
Yeah.
should we save some for tomorrow? Because tomorrow we've got this.
So will we have more users in tomorrow?
Well, I don't know. I'm thinking is I will add this to the event, this video to the event, and then users will know, other people will know what it is we're going to be talking about, because it's going to be this conversation continued.
I'll just make sure before tomorrow that I've got a proper journey, that I've been playing around with so many journeys that but I'm perfect, because I think now we can start to pool ideas.
Lovely.
You know, you can't do it through Zoom because I'm sharing only an application. But when I do this live,
yes,
all of this, if I go back to that original one, when I'm holding a discussion with one of my network partners, I can jump in to links to whatever, and so I'm linked to Google Documents, and I populate a Google document while we're talking, and this is linked to a web page and goes and talks about, and it's just a brilliant collaboration tool for either a strategic discussion or a working discussion. Yeah, I'm sure you can publish, because I don't think these names, I wouldn't like to share contact details of people, but names will be meaningless to people.
My name is presumably public already.
But what is also a breakthrough to me is I've discovered so much more of the usage of the program. You know, for instance, I didn't understand the ability to just jump from one to the other to move around a sphere and that sort of thing. So is this exciting enough for you?
It's wonderful, yes. It's perfect. Absolutely perfect.
Okay. So I'll see you tomorrow then.
Lovely.
Thanks, Andrew.
Thanks very much.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Bye.